Hello, welcome. In this video, we will be looking at how to install Windows 11 on Apple computers with Intel processors. This video will guide you on how to bypass Boot Camp Assistant error. The Windows ISO file is too large when you try to install Windows 11 on a Mac. Also, this guide requires external keyboard and mouse for Touch Bar MacBook models. Installation steps. Basically, these are the 3 steps we will be following to get the installation done. We have the pre-installation stage where 1. We download the Windows 11 ISO file, WinDisk Writer app, and then Boot Camp drivers. 2. We create the USB installer. 3. We partition the SSD with disk utility. B. The installation stage where we bypass the following Windows 11 install restrictions: TPM check, minimum RAM check, and secure boot check. 2. We create a local account. C. The final stage where we install Boot Camp drivers and configure Boot Camp software settings. Downloading the required software. Go to the Microsoft Windows 11 download webpage. The link is provided in the description below this video. Scroll down to download Windows 11 disk image for 64-bit devices. Click on Select Download, then choose Windows 11 Multi-Edition for 64-bit devices. Click on Download Now. Select your applicable language under Select the product language. I am in Ghana, so I'll choose English International. Click Confirm. If your internet speed is slow, you can right-click 64-bit download, copy the link address, and paste it in a download manager for it to handle the ISO image download, as the file is quite large. By default, you download directly with your web browser by clicking the 64-bit download button. Next, we download the WinDisk Writer app. It is hosted on GitHub, and the link is also provided in the video description. Go to the site. Navigate to Assets. Click on the zip package to download it. Open the directory the file was downloaded to. Extract and copy it to desktop. You can move your completed Windows 11 ISO file to desktop and also connect the USB flash drive to your Mac now. Let us check the properties of the USB drive. Press Command plus space bar to bring up Spotlight search. Type disk utility. Select it from the list of found items. The size of your flash drive should be at least 8 GB. Open WinDisk Writer. If you encounter this warning, click Done. Go to System Settings. Scroll down to Privacy and Security. Under Privacy and Security Settings to your right, scroll down to Security. Click Open Anyway to unblock WinDisk Writer. Click Open Anyway again to open the app. Authorize the app by typing in your password, then press Enter. Disabling Gatekeeper or Assessment System. You might encounter restrictions in opening the app. If this happens, terminate your internet connection. Open Terminal, then run the following command. Type in your password, then press Enter. This command initiates the disabling of the assessment system globally. Head over to Privacy and Security under System Settings to confirm the action. Under Security, change the selected option under Allow Applications from whatever option is active to Anywhere. Type in your password, then click Modify Settings. Click Allow from Anywhere. With that, you've fully disabled Gatekeeper and therefore can install any app on your Mac. The downside is that you'll also be able to install malicious apps. So do not forget to turn it on after this installation. Creating the USB installer disk. That's our flash drive detected. Click Choose under Windows Image. Then navigate to the Windows 11 ISO file. Select it, then click Open. Enable Patch Installer Requirements. Then click on Start. Click on Start again. The app will mount the ISO image. Rename and format the flash drive, then create the bootable disk by copying the Windows 11 install files from the ISO image to the drive. Click OK after the process ends. This could take between 20 to 45 minutes, depending on the speed of your USB drive. You can close the app now as the process has ended successfully. Enabling Gatekeeper or Assessment System. If you disabled the global assessment system before installing WinDisk Writer, enable it now to stay safe. Open Terminal. Type in the following command. Type in your password, then press Enter. Go back to Privacy and Security under System Settings. Under Security, you can change Allow applications from anywhere to either App Store or App Store and known developers. Type your password, then press Enter to modify settings. Gatekeeper has been enabled. Downloading Boot Camp drivers. Search for Boot Camp Assistant with Spotlight Search. Open it. Go to Action, then click Download Windows Support Software. I'd like to save it to desktop, so I do so accordingly by navigating to Desktop. Click Save. Once it's downloaded, you will find the Boot Camp setup and driver package files in the Windows Support folder on desktop. Quit Boot Camp Assistant. Next, we copy the entire Windows Support folder to the root of the Windows 11 installer flash drive created with WinDisk Writer. Partitioning the SSD. Eject all external drives connected to the Mac. Also unmount any images mounted before proceeding with this step. Search for an Open Disk utility from Spotlight Search. Click the SSD's ID. Click Partition. This is the entirety of our SSD, named Untitled. The file system format of the SSD is APFS, and its size is 256 gigabytes, out of which 80.4 gigabytes is under usage. This is indicated by the shaded region in the pie chart. Click on the plus button beneath the pie chart. Select Add Partition. The SSD has been divided into two equal parts. To your right is the partition hosting macOS, apps, and user files. To the left is the new partition that will be created if you click the Apply button on the lower right corner of the partition window. You can drag this button along the circumference of the pie chart to resize the partition. Doing so affects the sizes of both partitions. I will resize the partition to be created from 125 gigabytes to 120 gigabytes. Change the format to MS-DOS FAT so that the partition will be recognized by Windows 11 installer during installation. You can rename the partition if you so wish. Click Apply. Then Partition. Click Continue. Click Done once the operation is done. Close Disk Utility. You can now connect your Windows installer flash disk now. Restart your Mac. Press and hold the left Alt key when the Mac turns off. Startup Manager. Press and hold down the left Alt key. Immediately your Mac turns on to access Startup Manager. On the Boot Partition Selection menu, select EFI Boot as it is the flash disk volume we created the installer on. Press Enter to initiate Windows 11 installation. Click Next. Again, click Previous version of setup. Choose your time and currency format here. Click Next. Click Install now. Click I don't have a product key. Select the operating system you would like to install, then click Next. Before the installation proceeds, Setup checks for the presence of a Trusted Platform Module, that is TPM, and at least 4 GB of RAM on your motherboard. In addition, Setup will require Secure Boot to be enabled in UEFI. If your Mac fails to meet any of these requirements, the installation will halt here. We'll work around these restrictions in the next chapter. Bypass TPM, Secure Boot, and minimum RAM checks. On this screen, press Shift plus F10 to open Command Prompt. Type regedit, then press Enter to open Windows Registry Editor. Navigate to HKey Local Machine. Scroll down to System. Then Setup. Right-click on Setup, go to New, select Key. This will create a new key folder in Setup. Rename the key to LabConfig. Take note of the camel case. We are going to create 3 entries in the LabConfig key. With the LabConfig key selected, right-click the right window pane, go to New, DWORD 32-bit value. Create another DWORD 32-bit value again. Right-click, go to New, DWORD 32-bit value. Repeat for the 3rd entry. We can rename all 3 entries in any order. Right-click the first entry. Go to Rename. Type Bypass TPM check as one word. Note the camel case as used in naming the LabConfig key. Next, right-click the second entry, go to Rename. Type Bypass Secure Boot check. Once again, right-click the 3rd entry, go to Rename. Rename it to Bypass RAM check. Finally, activate all 3 DWORD bypass values by setting their hexadecimal value data to 1. Double-click Bypass TPM check entry to edit it. Change the value data from 0 to 1. Click OK. Double-click Bypass Secure Boot check. Change the value data to 1. Do same for Bypass RAM check. Close Registry Editor. Close Command Prompt. Go back. With the operating system you want to install selected, click Next. Accept the end-user licensing agreement. Choose the second option, that is customized, Install Windows Only Advanced. Select the partition you created with Disk Utility. Take note, I resized my partition in macOS from 125 GB to the current size. Format the partition. Click OK. Click Next. Windows installation will start. Follow through the next installation steps per your preferences. Installing Wi-Fi drivers. Click Install Driver. Navigate to the Windows Support folder in the root of the Windows installation media. Select it. Click Select Folder. Setup will search for and install the Wi-Fi drivers. Take note, your screen may flicker during this process. Once the Wi-Fi drivers are installed, your Mac should detect available Wi-Fi networks here. Select a network with internet connectivity. Click Connect. Type in the network password. Click Next. Click Next to proceed with the installation. Windows will check for, download, and install any required updates before continuing with the installation. You can name or skip naming your device here. Choose the appropriate setup for the device. Continue through. Creating a local account in Windows 11. On this screen, Setup will restrict you by requesting a Microsoft account as the only Setup account login option. We bypass this restriction by creating a local user account via Command Prompt. To do this, press Shift plus F10 to open Command Prompt. Type in the following command and press Enter. We can now create a local user account. Choose as you like here. It's your choice anyways. Installing Boot Camp support software. Let's first check out the state of devices under Device Manager. You can see most of the devices here are using the default device drivers provided by Windows, which are not optimal. Press Command plus E to open Explorer. Navigate to the USB installer. Open it. Open Windows Support folder. Open Boot Camp folder. Double-click Setup to run Boot Camp installer. Click Next. Accept the license agreement. Click Install. You can close all windows now. Restart the Mac to load the updated drivers. Now we head over to Device Manager to check the state of our hardware devices. As you can see, all device drivers have been loaded. The errored device is a generic USB dongle. It works well regardless. Boot Camp software configuration. Open Boot Camp control panel from the taskbar. Startup disk. This is where you specify the operating system to boot every time you power on your Mac. If you select macOS, the system will always boot to macOS whenever it is powered on or restarted. Selecting Windows will change it to boot into Windows on every startup. Clicking on Restart will reboot the computer to the selected system. If you click Target this mode, your Mac will restart and serve as an external hard disk if you connect it to another computer with either a FireWire or Thunderbolt cable. Keyboard settings. Enable this to use all the function keys as standard function keys. Enable this option to dim the keyboard backlight in low light environments. Use this slider to set the idle time to turn off keyboard backlight. Trackpad. Enable tap to click to activate clicking with one finger tap. Leave secondary tap with 2 fingers on. Also enable secondary click on the bottom right corner. Click Apply then OK to effect your changes. That's the end of this video. Like and subscribe for more guides on macOS.